In this moment, right now, as your awareness meets these words, something begins to shift. Beneath the chaos of anxious thoughts, beneath the tension in your body and the weight in your chest, there is a deeper place within you, a silent refuge, steady, untouched, unbreakable. This sanctuary of calm is not something you need to create. It's already here. It has always been here, quietly waiting beneath the noise. This peace is not far away, not reserved for a better day. It is your very nature, still, spacious, and free. All that's needed is to remember. Remember that you are not your thoughts. You are not the panic, the pressure, or the stories your mind repeats. You are the awareness behind it all, the still witness, untouched by the storm. And today we'll explore powerful practices rooted in ancient wisdom and modern insight. Simple grounding exercises to help you ease anxiety, reconnect with your breath, and return to the peace that's already within you. Let's begin. The sacred view of anxiety. Anxiety is not your enemy. It is life's invitation to awakening. Through the ancient wisdom of Buddhist understanding, we see anxious experiences as waves in the ocean of consciousness. These waves rise and fall naturally when we stop fighting the ocean and learn to surf with wisdom and grace. The Buddha taught that suffering multiplies when we resist what is already present. When we battle anxiety, we create meta-anxiety, the suffering of suffering. This comprehensive guide offers a complete transformation, from fighting anxiety to dancing with it, from fearing it to learning from it, from being consumed by it to containing it within the vastness of your awakened awareness. Part 1. The Philosophical Foundation. The 5 Truths of Anxious Liberation. First, the truth of anxiety's universality. Anxiety is not a personal flaw. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. Nervous energy is part of being human, woven into the very fabric of our biology, our evolution, our consciousness. To feel anxious is not to be broken but to be alive. When we stop isolating ourselves in our struggle, we begin to soften the walls anxiety builds around us. Second, the truth of anxiety's multiplication. Anxiety alone is already a ripple in the body and mind, but what intensifies it, what turns it into suffering, is our reaction to it. We resist, we judge, we grasp for escape, and in doing so, we multiply the pain. Understanding this truth allows us to meet anxiety with compassion instead of aversion, loosening the second layer of suffering we so often add unknowingly. Third, the truth of anxiety's impermanence. No anxious state lasts forever. Though it may feel endless while we're in it, every sensation, every thought, every emotion, like clouds in the sky, will pass. This truth, deeply realized, gives us the patience to stay with our experience without fear. In recognizing anxiety's impermanence, we discover that it does not need to define us. It only visits, and it always leaves. Fourth, the truth of anxiety's teachership. Every anxious moment holds within it a teaching. It reveals where we are clinging, where we are afraid to let go, where we are disconnected from the present. If we listen with awareness, anxiety becomes a understanding. We begin to touch a peace that no storm can take away. The teaching of dependent origination applied to anxiety. Anxiety is not a solid, isolated thing. It is not something that exists independently, as if from nowhere. Rather, it arises through a web of causes and conditions, a fleeting thought, a bodily sensation, a memory, a fear of the future, a lack of rest, an overwhelming moment, all converging at once. This is the teaching of dependent origination, that all phenomena, including anxiety, are interdependent. Nothing arises by itself, and nothing stays by itself. When we realize this, we stop seeing anxiety as a fixed identity, I am anxious, and begin to see it as a temporary experience. Anxiety is arising due to these conditions, and because it arises from conditions, it can also cease when those conditions shift. This insight empowers us. It reveals the fluidity of our experience. It teaches us that we are not trapped. With awareness, with skill, with compassion, we can meet the arising of anxiety with clarity and slowly unravel the knots that hold it in place. we stop fearing anxiety as a monster in the dark and begin to see it for what it is, a passing ripple on the surface of a much deeper, more spacious awareness. Part 2. Core mindfulness practices for anxiety relief. Practice 1. The Space Method, Sacred Presence with Anxious Consciousness Experience. Duration, 15 to 20 minutes. A foundational technique for creating conscious relationship with anxiety through loving awareness. Preparation. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your spine naturally erect, hands resting on your thighs. Take 3 settling breaths, allowing each exhale to release any pressure to perform this practice correctly. S. Sacred Pause. When anxiety arises, resist the urge to immediately react or escape. Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Say internally, I pause in the sacred space between stimulus and response. Allow this pause to last for 30 seconds minimum p. Presence with what is. Turn your full attention toward the anxiety without trying to change it. Notice, right now anxiety is moving through my system. Breathe with the sensation rather than against it. Cultivate the attitude of a loving scientist studying a fascinating phenomenon. A. Acceptance of the visiting experience. Recognize anxiety as a temporary visitor in the guest house of your consciousness. Whisper, anxiety, you are welcome here. I don't have to like you, but I won't war with you. Feel the relief that comes from ending the inner conflict. Curious investigation. Where does this anxiety live in your body? Is it hot or cold? Moving or static? What thoughts are anxiety's companions? Are they stories about the future? Past regrets? What deeper need might this anxiety be pointing toward? Safety? Connection? Purpose? Explore, with the gentleness of touching a flower. E. Expansion into spacious awareness. Zoom out from the anxiety to rest in the awareness that contains it. Recognize, I am the sky. Anxiety is weather passing through. Notice that the part of you observing anxiety is itself peaceful and untroubled. Rest in this expansive consciousness for the remaining practice time. Practice 2. The Lotus Breath Sanctuary. Duration, 20 to 25 minutes. A breath-based practice that builds your capacity to remain centered while anxiety transforms. Stage 1. Establishing sacred breath, 5 minutes. Sit with dignity, imagining roots growing from your sitting bones into the earth. Breathe normally while counting breaths from 1 to 10, then starting over. When you lose count, and you will, simply smile and begin again at 1. This isn't about perfection, it's about training gentle return to the present stage. 2. The Lotus. Visualization, 8 minutes. Imagine a lotus flower in your heart center, currently in bud form. With each inhale, visualize golden light entering through the crown of your head. This light travels down to nourish your heart lotus. With each exhale, see one petal slowly opening. Continue until you can visualize a fully bloomed lotus radiating peaceful light. If anxiety arises, imagine it as muddy water that helps the lotus grow stronger. Stage 3. Anxiety as fertilizer, 7 minutes. When anxiety appears, don't see it as a problem to solve. Instead, visualize your anxiety as rich, dark soil around your lotus. Watch how the lotus, your essential piece, remains beautiful regardless of the mud. Practice this revolutionary perspective. Anxiety as compost for wisdom. End by offering gratitude to anxiety for helping cultivate your inner strength. Stage 4. Integration and dedication, 5 minutes. Rest in the image of your inner lotus fully bloomed. Dedicate the merit of this practice to all beings experiencing anxiety. Carry this sense of your blooming lotus with you throughout your day. If this message resonates with you, and you're seeking more moments of peace and insight, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for daily reflections rooted in ancient wisdom and modern clarity. Practice 3. The Inner Council of Emotions. Duration, 25 to 30 minutes. A transformative practice that reframes anxiety as one voice within a greater inner council, inviting collaboration, healing, and integration. Opening grounding, 5 minutes, creating the inner temple. Find a quiet place and sit comfortably with your spine upright but relaxed. Close your eyes and bring your attention inward. Visualize a sacred circular space, a temple, forest clearing, or stone circle, whatever feels safe and powerful. In this space, imagine you are the facilitator of the inner council, a wise, centered presence open to all aspects of your inner world. Set the intention. In this space, all voices are heard. I welcome anxiety as a messenger, not a master. Welcoming the voice of anxiety, 5 minutes. Invite the presence of anxiety into your inner temple. Observe how it chooses to appear, a figure, creature, light, sound, or sensation. Let it take its form. Say silently or aloud, anxiety, I acknowledge your presence. You are welcome here. I'm listening. Breathe slowly. Feel the shift from resistance to invitation. The inner council dialogue, 10 minutes. Now, imagine that other aspects of yourself have gathered in the circle. Calm, joy, resilience, curiosity, even fear. Begin the dialogue by addressing anxiety directly. You may ask, what are you afraid will happen if you go unheard? When did you first start feeling the need to protect me? What part of me do you not trust to handle things? What do you need from the rest of the council to soften your grip? If you could retire from constant alarm, what would you become? Let the other voices, like compassion or wisdom, also speak briefly to anxiety, offering understanding or support. Allow the conversation to unfold naturally. Integration and resolution, 5 minutes. Invite all parts of the council to speak one sentence to anxiety, affirming their shared purpose, your well-being. Then, ask anxiety directly, are you willing to trust me a little more today? What small act could show you that I'm listening? Offer a personal commitment, something specific like taking a break when overwhelmed or setting firmer boundaries. Thank anxiety for its vigilance and let it know. Your message has been received. You don't have to shout anymore. Closing the circle, 5 minutes. Visualize anxiety taking a new form, less agitated, more balanced. Perhaps it becomes a watchful guide or simply rests. Imagine the entire council standing and bowing to one another in mutual respect. Slowly dissolve the temple and return to your breath, your body, and the present moment. Journal any key messages, emotions, or inner shifts you experienced. Practice 4. The Mountain Meditation for Unshakable Presence. Duration, 30 to 35 minutes. Build your capacity to remain unmoved by anxiety storms through identification with mountain consciousness. Preparation and grounding, 8 minutes. Sit with your spine straight but not rigid. Imagine roots growing from your sitting bones deep into the earth. Feel your connection to the solid, stable ground beneath you. Spend several minutes just appreciating this sense of being grounded and supported. Becoming the mountain, 12 minutes. Visualize yourself as a majestic mountain. Your head is the peak, your shoulders the slopes, your base firmly rooted in earth. See yourself covered in forests, with streams running down your sides. Notice how you have existed for millennia, witnessing countless changes. Storms have raged around you. Seasons have changed. But you remain weather patterns of emotion. 10 minutes. As you embody mountain consciousness, notice thoughts and emotions as weather anxiety might appear as storm clouds gathering around your peak. Don't try to blow them away. Simply observe as the mountain observes. Notice storms are temporary, they always pass. The mountain endures. Even lightning, intense anxiety, cannot damage your essential mountain nature. Seasonal wisdom, 5 minutes. Reflect on how mountains experience all seasons without resistance. Winter, depression, gives way to spring, hope. Summer, joy, transitions to autumn, letting go. As mountain consciousness, you contain all experiences without being defined by any rest in this vast, stable awareness that can hold any emotional weather. Part 3. Advanced Transformation Practices. Practice 5. The Phoenix Rising. Anxiety as Spiritual Fire. Duration, 35–40 minutes. An intensive practice for times when anxiety feels overwhelming, transforming crisis into awakening opportunity. Phase 1. Entering the fire, 10 minutes. Sit in meditation posture or lie down comfortably. Bring to mind your most challenging anxiety or allow current worry to intensify. Instead of avoiding the discomfort, consciously choose to move toward it. Breathe into the center of the anxious sensation. Think, I am willing to be burned by this fire so I can be reborn. Phase 2. Burning away the false, 10 minutes. As you breathe with anxiety, ask, what old stories about myself is this anxiety burning away? Notice beliefs like, I'm not strong enough, or I can't handle uncertainty. Visualize these limiting beliefs as old wood being consumed by the fire of anxiety. Feel the liberation as false identities burn away. Remind yourself, what I truly am cannot be destroyed by any fire. Phase 3. Death of the small self, 8 minutes. Allow the anxiety to intensify further. Practice dying to the part of you that needs everything to be comfortable. Let go of the self that demands certainty and control. This is a conscious ego death, terrifying but ultimately liberating surrender completely. Let what needs to die, die. Phase 4. Rebirth into spacious being, 7 minutes. From the ashes of your burned-away limitations, feel something new emerging. What remains when all anxiety has been accepted and embraced? Touch the part of you that is vast enough to contain any experience. Feel yourself being reborn as someone who can dance with uncertainty. Rest in this new identity. I am limitless awareness, playing at being human. Phase 5. Integration and blessing, 5 minutes. Offer deep gratitude to anxiety for facilitating this transformation. Commit to living from this expanded sense of self. Dedicate the merit of your courage to all beings trapped in anxiety. Carry this phoenix energy into your daily life. The liberated life. As you complete this journey through anxiety transformation, remember that liberation is not a destination, but a way of traveling. Each moment you choose presence over panic, acceptance over resistance, and compassion over self-judgment, you water the seeds of freedom in yourself and all beings. Your anxiety has been your secret teacher all along, pointing you toward the very qualities you most need to develop: presence, acceptance, courage, and compassion. What once felt like your greatest weakness becomes your greatest teacher. Final dedication. May all beings who struggle with anxiety find the courage to turn toward their fear with love. May all beings discover the vast, peaceful awareness that contains all storms. May all beings transform their personal suffering into universal compassion. May all beings be free from anxiety's grip while learning anxiety's lessons. May all beings awaken to their true nature, limitless, unshakable, eternally at peace.